The last theory in this lecture is routine activities theory. This was devised by Cohen and Felsen back in the 1970s. This is what we might call a neoclassical theory in the sense that it derives from rational choice assumptions. It assumes that offenders are rational actors. They are calculating costs and benefits before deciding to engage in crime or not. It focuses on the routine activities that people do and how that makes them more or less likely to become a victim of crime. According to Cohen and Felsen, crime is the result of three factors coming together in time and space. The first is a motivated offender. Somebody who is motivated to commit a crime. The motivated offender must come in contact with a suitable target. This could be either a person that will become a crime victim, or a store that will be burgled, or a car that will be stolen or broken into, and so forth. This target must lack a capable guardian. We can define guardians broadly here. A guardian could be a police officer or a security guard. It could be perhaps video camera monitoring the parking lot. It could be a well-lighted area. It could be locks. It could be a guard dog. A guardian refers to anything that might tend to inhibit the criminal from committing the offense. Cohen and Felsen take the existence of offenders for granted, so they're not trying to explain why criminals commit crime. They're just assuming that there are people out there who want to commit a crime. They leave it to other theorists to explain that. In many ways, this theory is more attempting to explain who is most likely to become a victim, or why criminals might target one person or one business as opposed to another. So in essence, this theory is a fairly simple one. It focuses on practical things that can be measured. And it implies ways of reducing crime. So how can you reduce crime? Make yourself less of a target. Maybe don't go out of the house as much. That might be one way. If you do go out of the house, stay to well-lighted areas where there are security guards or police officers, and so forth. It gives ideas for policing. So the concept of hotspot policing derives from this body of theory. The idea that the guardians, the police officers in this example, should focus on areas where crime is more likely to occur. So this is a powerful theory. It has a lot of influence, and it has led to hotspots policing and other practical applications. But as with all theories, it has its weaknesses, and the weaknesses of routine activities theories are essentially the same as the weaknesses of rational choice theory, in that it assumes that offenders are rational actors, and we know that's not always true. Many offenders behave quite irrationally because they're aroused by substance abuse or emotions of anger. In fact, it's been found in countries that have a lot of closed-circuit TV, such as England, that these video monitors, these video guardians, are relatively ineffective at reducing crime because the criminals realize that they're being watched by the video camera, and they seem not to care. So the assumption that offenders can be deterred because they are rational is the major weakness of this theory. But to the extent that offenders are rational and can be deterred by the presence of a guardian, this theory works. So it explains some parts of crime, but not the irrational parts. It does predict who is most likely to become a victim. So people who are out of the house more are more likely to become the victims of street crime. People who are in the house more are more likely to become the victims of domestic crimes. It explains this also explains part why young people are more likely to become victims than old people because they're out more. They're more likely to be out in the streets late at night, where they can become targets. Okay, so this is a simple, I think, fairly simple and easy to understand theory, body of theory, and you will test it in your research exercise and see what works and what doesn't.